Hey guys, and welcome back to another Woodbrew video.
In this week's video, we're building this really cool kids table and chairs with a bunch of scraps we had laying around. If you're interested in building one for yourself, there's plans available down below. Without further ado, let's get started. To start this project off, we're actually going through all of our leftover scraps from projects in 2019, and we're going to use all scraps for this project. But if you don't have a bunch of scraps laying around, this project takes one sheet of plywood to do the table and all 4 chairs, and then I think about 3 or 4 2x2s as well. This project is a ton of repetition, and that's where having a table saw really helps out, because usually you only have to set the fence up twice to make a whole bunch of parts, and I think I only needed to change the setup a handful of times to get all of the parts out, and it only took about an hour of going through scraps and doing these repetitions to get all the pieces cut for the entire table and all 4 chairs. The table base has several 45-degree angle cuts on it, and that's much easier done on a miter saw if you have access to one. When you're making several of the same parts, especially when they have angles cut on them, I like to take one board, cut it correctly, and then trace it onto every other board. The thing that you want to do is make sure you set the board aside that you cut first and only use that one to trace every corresponding board after, because if you don't, then you could be making micro changes throughout all of the boards that you're cutting. Whereas if you start with the first one, it's going to be a very small difference if you do mess up. The legs of the chairs are made from Select Pine 2x2s. These are kind of the really nice boards in your local home center. And there's just a bunch of the same exact cuts. There's 2 different lengths, one for the front legs and a longer one for the back legs. So I just set up a stop block here, and I'm just knocking out a whole bunch of them. With all of the pieces cut for both the table and chairs, it's time to start working on some of the detailed parts, like this notch that is on the seats. I used a table saw here, and I raised the blade up as high as it would go so that the exit point on the other side wouldn't be too far down the material. Now, it is on the bottom of the seat, so it's not really that big of a deal. You won't really ever see it, and the table saw makes very quick work of this, but you could also use a jigsaw or a handsaw. With all of the seats done, it is now time to do the, 1,000 pocket holes on this project. So each one of these small boards get 2 pocket holes on each end, and then 1 pocket hole going perpendicular to those. That is for screwing the seats of the chairs to. With that done, it's time to do edge banding on all of the exposed sides, and I'm using this kind of neat little tool to make that edge banding flatten out before I install it. And this particular edge banding is got 3M adhesive on the bottom of it instead of having to use an iron-on. And we've been using this for the last few projects. I don't know, maybe for the past year or so that we've done this, we've used this particular product. And I'll link to it below because we've had some pretty good results, and it's a little bit easier to put on than the iron-on. Lastly, we are going to be customizing the seat backs using our X-Carve from Inventables. Now, you guys have seen this on our channel many of times if you've watched our videos in the past, but we've been using this machine for probably 2.5 years or so, and we've been partnering with Inventables for about that long as well. Now, we really do love this machine. The only things that we've ever had go wrong with this machine is we had to replace one of the belts, and I think that was about last year, so it lasted about 1.5 years or 2 years. So we replaced the belt, and that's the only thing that we've had to do. That was like a $5 part. This thing just runs when you want it to run, and it's surprisingly affordable. Many people think that it's super expensive to get into the CNC world, but they really make it a lot easier and more affordable. So if you've ever thought about or considered getting a CNC machine, I would recommend the Inventables X-Carve, and I'll leave a link to it down below. This is their free software called Easel. You can actually check it out for free if you want to see how difficult it would be to use the machine. It's super easy. I'll leave a link to it below as well. And this is what we use to design the lettering and the handle on the seat back. We used a 90-degree V-bit to cut the lettering out, and then a straight 1/8 inch bit to make this sort of hand pocket that we're going to use a round over bit here in a second to kind of clean up the edges and make it look even nicer. With that done, it's time to start painting some of the parts before assembly. A lot of the parts, the tabletop, the seat backs, and the seats are all going to get painted white. This is obviously an optional choice, but I think it turned out really nicely, so we're just spraying on a few coats of white paint before we get started with assembly. Fair warning, this project has a ton of sanding, so if you hate sanding, maybe this is not the project for you. There's a lot of small parts that we needed to sand and make smooth, particularly because it's a kid's table and I felt like there really couldn't be any sharp edges. And with that done, it's time to start assembling, and this is a really easy thing to assemble. We put some 3/8 inch spacers underneath so that each of the pieces on the bottoms are basically centered to the legs. And we just went around and assembled the fronts of all the seats first, and then we're going to start assembling the backs of all the seats. And I was just making sure that they were at the same height right then, double checking using one of the lower pieces, and that's it. It's that simple. That's the assembly for the chairs, and then you start connecting them with the other pieces, and it's a perfect square, so they're all the same exact length pieces. It's just a super easy project, and really happy with the way this design turned out and the way the plans came out. Is just a all-around great project when it came to building and executing. The base of the table is pretty easy to assemble too. We start by adding these little support blocks, and I'm just going to pin nail those in place. These aren't 100% necessary, but there's some added comfort in the structural part of the table. I went around adding these stretchers to each of the legs, and you can see how they kind of interlock together right there. And I'm using some of those fast cap screws that we use all the time, pre-drilling everything first so that I could clear out all the shavings on the inside and then add glue and then go back and screw them in place. This looks kind of awkward, but it really was a very easy process. And if you don't like the look of these screw heads, they actually make these stick-on little cap things that cover them up and are the same color as birch plywood, which is pretty interesting. I'm going to repeat the same steps to make the other side of the table and then connect the two pieces together with our long stretcher pieces, and then the base is done. One thing you need to make sure you don't do, that we did, was put the stretchers on upside down. So we had to drill some more pocket holes because they were facing the wrong direction, because kind of just got ahead of ourselves and screwed them on the wrong direction. We also did this on one of the chairs too, so if you do it, don't feel dumb. With the base done, it's time to screw the top down. So we're just going to lay the top upside down, flip the table base over on top of it, center it, and then screw it down using 1 1/4 inch pocket hole screws. Again, you saw that we did that on the wrong side twice, actually. We messed up on attaching the stretchers twice. By now, the rest of the pieces are dry from paint, so we can start adding the seat backs and the seats themselves to the chairs. So for the seat backs, we're just using some finish head screws. You've seen us use these a lot in the past. They're really great. They're just a very small headed screw, a lot more secure than just using a finish nail or something. And they're really easy to fill the holes, and the holes are very uniform, so it doesn't look bad to fill them with some wood putty and then just clear coat right over them. For the seats themselves, we're just using pocket hole screws and screwing them down. In 2019, we actually discovered this Total Boat Halcyon clear finish, and we used it on so many projects and really loved it. And we've actually partnered with Total Boat this year, and we're going to be using a lot more of their stuff. It's going to be an awesome partnership. Can't wait to show you guys some more of their products. But if you're looking for a really easy to apply, very durable clear coat that is outdoor rated and is water based, then be sure to check out this Halcyon clear finish. It comes in a bag. It's just a really cool product that we've used a lot. It sprays well and it's super durable, which we definitely need for a kid's table. So yes, this is an outdoor finish being used indoors, but you know how kids are, and I'm sure that my sister is going to appreciate this very durable finish for years to come. So with that done, the table's done, and all that's left is to deliver it and watch the kids have some fun.
Hey George, what you doing? Hey George, watch this. What? When is it gonna close?
Wait, hold on. Let it...
Now you can record yourself. You love it.
Okay, give it.
Did it hit you in the head?
What does this do? Oh, it shows you where